So, Chris, I really liked the way that this film gave us a real sense of who Jack Ryan is and how he ended up being the best CIA analysis. What did you relish about bringing this version of Jack to the screen?
I really liked the fact that he was a humble hero, a guy that didn't necessarily love the limelight and wasn't trained to be an assassin or a guy on the front lines of international espionage. He's a guy that feels compelled to serve after seeing what happened on 9/11 and serves in war and is injured and traumatized physically and emotionally and psychically. And he seemed like a very current 21st century hero and a guy with a good moral compass that you'd like to meet and hopefully someday, lead the country.
And you mentioned there that 9/11 really changes Jack Ryan's life and his career. Would there be a moment in your life that you could sort of pinpoint as having the greatest impact on your career?
Well, I mean, certainly for me, it would be Star Trek. When I got that role, it just offered me more opportunities in my business, and that was probably it.
And how grueling were those stunt sequences? I'm particularly interested in that impressive fight with Nonso. I've met him, and he is pretty much, without a doubt, the biggest man I've ever encountered. He's
so big, but so gentle. He's a gentle giant with an incredible singing voice, and he can dance. He's a bizarre juxtaposition. That was like a week long, and it was a fight that takes place in a bathroom and a confined space, and it was just figuring out the choreography of something that didn't have all that much choreography because Jack Ryan doesn't know how to fight other than just kind of like any normal person if they had to defend themselves. So that was fun. It was difficult though.
And our English Rose, Keira Knightley, plays Jack's fiancée, Kathy, and I loved how relatable their relationship was, even in the middle of a CIA operation. And it feels like there's real on-screen mileage in this couple. And to what extent would you agree with that?
Well, I what I like about the relationship is that it's complicated in, again, a very normal human way, is that they obviously love one another and they obviously have great compatibility and they're both intelligent and they both have mutual respect, but there's some dishonesty happening, and what couple hasn't been through something like that? So even though it takes place in the spy world, it's accessible and human and normal for any couple to watch. They'll be like, oh yeah, we've been through that before.
And the screen legend Kevin Costner, I certainly felt if he was head of CIA or MI6, I'd feel safe. How much did you enjoy working with him?
I loved working with him. I've had great opportunities in my career, and working with older masters, and working with Ken and working with Kevin. It was a great opportunity. I learned an incredible amount.
And finally, can you tell us a bit about the preparation and the training for this role? I'd read that you'd met military veterans, banking experts, and even toured our very own London Economics School.
That's right, yeah. Ken built in a whole kind of rehearsal process before we started, and what you said was all right. Everything was correct, and I think probably the most important thing for me was to meet veterans and meet people that were rehabbing major physical injuries that they got in wartime, and to veterans who said really ultimately when they're fighting, who they're fighting for is the guy next to them and not for democracy or any concept, but for their friends, and that meant a lot.
Chris Pine, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.